Hello, welcome to Home Buying 101, where I'm going to break down to the very basics how the real estate market works and how you as a future home buyer can go about navigating this process, educating yourself, and knowing a little bit of the basics of the real estate market. So this series is going to continue, and today we're just going to be starting on the very foundation piece of what the real estate market looks like, how it functions, some basic terminology that you need to know, so that hopefully you can know a little bit more once you get to the point of becoming a home buyer for the first time. So I am a realtor, which is the official term of real estate agent, which means I am a licensed and educated professional that is licensed to help assist people either buy or sell property in the state of Iowa. I specifically work in the Cedar Rapids area, but the information I'm going to be sharing applies to the entire United States. So this is just how the system works in our country. Let's first talk about sort of the structure of the real estate market. So we obviously have homes that come up for sale, and your only experience with a home sale might be seeing for sale signs in a yard, and that's okay. This video is for you. So if a home goes up for sale and it's officially listed, meaning it's officially for sale, it has been put in an online database called the MLS, or the Multiple Listing Service. This is an online portal database full of every home that's officially listed for sale with a licensed realtor in the area. Each region of the United States has its own MLS. So here in Cedar Rapids, I belong to the Cedar Rapids Area Board of Realtors. And so I have access to every listing that shows up in my area. So every agent in the area has access to the MLS. It's where they go to find homes for their clients who are buyers, and where they go to put those listings for their sellers. So when someone wants to sell their home, they will hire a real estate agent to represent them and to help them walk through the process. That agent will help them fill out all the correct documentation, market it, and hopefully get it sold for them. So in this situation, a real estate agent that works with someone trying to sell their house is called a seller's agent. A realtor that works with someone trying to purchase a home or any property is called a buyer's agent. And a lot of times realtors like myself work for both buyers and sellers. So we work as both buyers and sellers agents, but under the context of those different situations and transactions are called either a buyer's or a seller's agent. When you are a person who would like to purchase a home, your realtor will help walk you through the financing portion of it, getting you approved for a mortgage, help you look for homes, and help you purchase a home and walk you through that entire process. While you can find homes listed on public websites like Realtor.com or Skogman.com, which are the most reputable two, please don't use Zillow. Zillow often does not have up-to-date or accurate information, so it's not the most reliable source, whereas Realtor.com or Skogman.com have up-to-date and accurate listings. But your realtor has access to all listings in the area, and they can help you look for those properties, go visit them, and write offers on them. Okay, so when your realtor shows you homes that are for sale from the MLS, you will need to know the status of that home. Is it still available or has it already sold? If a home is currently available to purchase, it is still for sale, it is called an active listing. This means that it's not under contract, it's open to showings, you can write offers on it, etc. Once a buyer submits an offer that the seller accepts, that property is then under contract. What that means is that the seller has accepted an offer that a buyer has written, but they've not yet closed on the home. The closing process takes a certain amount of time. So when an offer is accepted, that home is no longer available, but it is called pending because it's not yet sold, but it's not active. And then finally, once a home has officially gone through the 30 to 45 days, typically closing process, which we'll talk about, that home is then closed, sold, officially sold. Okay, so that's completely out of the market. So there's active listing, pending or under contract, and sold or closed. So the first step to purchasing a home is getting pre-approved by a mortgage lender if you are not paying cash for a home, which you absolutely can do. But if you are going to finance any portion of the home, you need to first get pre-approved by a lender. This will ensure that you are qualified to buy whatever price range of home you are looking to purchase. For pre-approval, a lender will look at your credit score, your income, your debt to income ratio, and determine how much of a monthly mortgage payment you can afford based on those factors, at what interest rate, and what type of financing, what type of loan you can get, and the ultimate price range of a home that you can look at affording or purchasing. There's a few other terms with home buying that you should know right off the bat. One of them is earnest money. Earnest money is a financial deposit that a buyer will make to show the sellers that they are serious and intend on fulfilling their end of the contract. This is different than a down payment. Earnest money simply shows that you are going to put forth a good faith effort to fulfill your end of the contract. Your earnest money ends up being a credit to you towards your total expenses at closing when purchasing a home. So it comes back around to you, but you pay this at the time of your offer being accepted. Now, a down payment is separate. A down payment is the portion of the total home purchase price that you are not financing. So say you are getting a loan for 80% of the home, the down payment would be 20%, or 3% and 97% financed. Whatever your down payment is, it can be as little as 0%. There is 100% financing available through multiple lenders in our area and others, but and the down payment is paid at closing, or the time of the actual home purchase. All right, let's talk about the timeline a little bit. Say you see a house, you put an offer in, it gets accepted. That can happen within 24 hours, say. From the point of being under contract or pending to sold can take 30 to 45 days typically. It can take shorter, it can take a lot longer depending on different things, but that's a very big generalization of the timeline. This process is called the escrow period. Now, escrow can mean multiple things. Escrow can be the closing period, that 30 or 45 days. It also refers to a trust account set aside for funds dedicated to a specific purpose, like escrowing money for future repairs. And escrow can refer to the actual company or service provider that does a lot of the closing processes for you, like Escrow Services of Iowa. During that escrow period, a lot of things take place. Inspections on a home, appraisals, getting financing solidified, abstracting, deed preparation. We'll go into that more in the future, but the generalization is that it takes typically a month to a month and a half to get from an accepted offer to closing date, which is where you actually purchase the home, sign your mortgage paperwork, and get the keys to your new home. A few other terms you should know. Days on the market. This is how many days it has been listed for sale before it goes pending or is under contract. CMA. This isn't so much something that you'll see as a buyer, but a term that you should know. A CMA is a comparative market analysis, which helps sellers to determine the market value of their home. It is where a realtor does a thorough market study on comparable homes, so homes that look similar to the subject property, and based on what they've sold for recently, determines the market value of said home. All right, finally, I'm going to give a very brief overview of what the market has been doing in the past year. So we are currently in a seller's market. All that means is that there's more demand than housing supply right now. So there's not a lot of homes for sale, but there's a lot of buyers competing to get those homes. Now, at the very beginning of the pandemic, we had a lot less inventory or homes for sale with much more demand. You might have heard of people having to put in competing offers or offer far above the listing price of a home to get it accepted. That piece of the market has slowed down a little bit since a year ago, 6 months ago. While we're still in a seller's market, there is gradually more inventory coming on the market. That means more homes are coming for sale, and there is less of a intense demand for homes. So it's not quite as competitive. The average days on the market is going up a little bit, which means that homes aren't selling in 1 or 2 days. On average, they're selling more like 15 days. Another thing to know is that interest rates have been historically low over the past year or so. Today's mortgage interest rate is sitting right around 2.9%, which is a little bit higher than it was a year ago, but significantly lower than it has been in past years. We're going to talk all about financing in depth in the next episode, but for now, just know that you might be able to afford more house than you think because of the low interest rates right now. I hope that was a helpful, very basic overview of some real estate terminology and how the market kind of functions. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments so that I can answer them in future episodes. No question is stupid, because if you're wondering it, somebody else is most likely wondering it as well. You can always email me for more information at emilyjaniak@skogman.com, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.